Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to a new year. Happy New Year. Happy 2023. And welcome to the first episode of Trippin with Theobold for the year 2023. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. Welcome. Before I go any further, let me go ahead and make sure I add in this chat. Like I've been out of commission for a couple of weeks, and I'm trying to get my I don't even know what words I want to use, but I'm trying to get my bearings back, so just bear with me for a second. So anywho, let me go ahead and pop in this YouTube chat to see who's checking on little old me and the little podcast that will, because we will do this shit. So I'm cussing too early. My bad. It's 1 minute and 45 seconds in. And I know YouTube doesn't like you to cuss before 2 minutes. But anyway, let me go ahead and just pop in this, there we go, pop in the chat. So I can see who's checking in on little old me. So far, nobody, but that's okay. And we are here, So this is the 67th episode of Trippin with Theobold. Let me just do a sound check on my other stuff to make sure I'm not sounding like an Autobot. Matter of fact, I'm about to change ports right quick. Give me one quick second. Okay, let me see mic check. Let me make sure I'm good. Okay, no audio. Am I good? Wow. Yeah, the delay on this thing is crazy. Man, I did not know that the delay on this thing was that crazy. Man, I said like hello, and like 5 minutes later, hello. But I'm a pop in and check to make sure that my sound is good, because I don't want to sound like an Autobot. Because that happened one time, man. I got like 30 minutes in, man, and wasted 30 minutes. I want to make sure I'm good. But anyways, welcome to the first episode of the new year of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. I said that like 3 times. So as you guys can see, I'm out front of the illustrious Outback Steakhouse. Am I an Outback Steakhouse fan? Not necessarily, but if you guys can put 2 and 2 together, basically this show is a tribute / remembrance of my comedy bro Boogie B Montreal. And Boog had this joke. It wasn't about Outback, but there was one word in his joke that had Outback in it. And it's like one of the funniest jokes I ever heard, man. So I encourage y'all to go to just YouTube and put in Boogie B Montreal stand-up clips and then watch them joints, because all this shit is funny. But I'm cussing again. I gotta make sure I'm not cussing. All of this stuff is funny, man. But there's one particular joke had the word Outback in it, man. And you know which one I'm talking about. It's gonna hit, but that joint is funny. But anyways, yeah, let me go ahead and just get on with this show, because like I said, I'm gonna have a lot I want to cover. So as you guys know, I'm a Bills fan. I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. And since today is episode 67, today's episode is tied to none other than Kent Hull, one of the great 90s linemen of the Buffalo Bills. I believe he played, they have him listed as offensive line, but I remember he played center. So I'm not sure why they just didn't say center, or why they just didn't say that. But, it is what it is. Kent Hull is definitely one of the gridiron greats of the Buffalo Bills. And I think he passed away. It's crazy, man, but he passed away. Hey, what's going on, Chrome City Record? Hey, what's going on, Mark? Yeah, we live. Yeah, we are live, man. But it's a hell of a delay. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a hell of a delay, man. Like, so we're live-ish. How about that? Yeah, we are live-ish. Like, at the time I just said that, you'll probably hear it like 2 minutes into the future. So anywho, yeah, but Kent Hall, man, was a hey, thanks for joining. Hey, for those of y'all don't know, in the chat, we got my man Mark Lotus in here. My man made the intro and the outro to this podcast that you guys are listening to right now. So shout out to Mark. Gave me different options of different things I could use, man. So hey, man, appreciate you. Thank you. Like this definitely helped my podcast out a lot, man. I really appreciate it. But yeah, today's episode 67 is tied to Kent Hall, former offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills. He was a gridiron legend. I believe he played center, and they have him listed as an offensive lineman. I'm not sure why they just didn't say center, but Kent Hall, one of the greats of the Buffalo Bills. But it's crazy, man. He passed away in 2011, man, and it's crazy, man. Like I'm bad at remembering like the year that like people passed, man, and it's been like more than 10 years, so that's crazy, So anywho, this episode is tied to Kent Hall, number 67 of the Buffalo Bills. Mark said, oh, you got new music for me in 2023? Hey, okay. Can't wait to hear it, man. You always do, man. From what you show me, man, you got a lot of dope work, man. So I can't wait to see what 2023 brings me. Right, that rhymes. Okay, that was corny. Why did I say that? Anyways, what else we got here? So let me go ahead and do the promotional part of the show, and I'm gonna get on with the main portion of the show. So real quick, when I went home to visit for the holidays, man, I was trying to find me a good hoodie. Like I went on Amazon and I tried to find me another Nike. What do you call it? A Nike dry fit, all weather condition hoodie. And I went on Amazon, paid $100 for one of these hoodies, man. And I wasn't impressed, man. I feel like the quality of the Nike hoodies are going down while the price is going up. Like that to me is kind of it's a sham, But luckily, when I was at home, I went to I believe it was Champs. I went to Champ Sports, but I didn't know that East Bay has gone out of business. East Bay, the people that make the magazines with the shoes. I used to get all my track shoes from East Bay, So I went to East Bay or whatever. I went to Champs, and I didn't know that Champs and East Bay were all like one big company, right? So anyways, they had these hoodies that were $50 originally, but I got them for $10. And it's a good hoodie, man. Good quality material. I got about 4 of these joints. Yeah, I got 4 of them. I got the zip joint. I got the pullover. So, hey, I mean, if you guys got a Champs near you, I suggest that you go in that store and see if they got any hoodies left, man. Because these hoodies, man, quality material, man. This is what I'm talking about right here, man. A good athletic hoodie. So, yeah. So go get yours. And then shout out to my mom, man, for surprising me on Christmas, or for the holidays, shout out to my mom. So she gave me the bread to get the shoes that I wanted to get for Christmas, and I got them, man. Look at these things right here, man. Mom went ahead and got these cap and gowns, man. So shout out to my mom for hooking me up, man, with the bread to get the cap and gowns. And look, you see that patent leather, man? That shit is so shiny, man. It's so shiny, like it's messing up my green screen, But look at that, man. These are beautiful shoes, man. Man, thank you, Mom. Appreciate you. These are like probably like my favorite pair of shoes, but they are not going to get worn like that. These are shoes you wear on a special occasion, if at all. right? These are collector edition kicks, man. Quality shoes. So shout out to my mom. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. What else we got here? So, I forgot. I'm messing up already in 2023, man. I got to do my tongue twisties. You know, as you guys know, group with a speech impediment is not all the way gone, so I do tongue twisters to help me not fuck up. So I think I can cuss now a little bit because I'm at the 10-minute mark. So here we go. Letter M. So we're doing the letter M because M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. So read along with me if you want to. If not, just watch me improve myself. So here we go. M. Missing mixture measure. Missing mixture measure. Missing mixture measure. 2. Much mashed mushrooms. Much mashed mushrooms. Much mashed mushrooms. Almost messed that one up. Everybody else we got. The minx mixed a medicine mixture. The minx mixed a medicine mixture. The minx mixed a medicine mixture. Number 4. Mummies munch, munch, munch. So I can't even do this one. Damn, this is a tricky one. Mummies munch, munch, munch. Monsters munch, munch, munch. Many mummies and monsters must munch, much, mush. I got the last one. Let me go and do that 2 more times. Mummies munch, munch, mush. Monsters munch, much, mush. Many mummies and monsters must munch, much, mush. 3 more times. Last time. Here we go. Mummies munch, much, mush. Monsters munch, much, mush. Many mummies and monsters must munch, much, mush. And the last one, Mike makes marvelous munchies for Mary, Mitch, and me. Mike makes marvelous munchies for Mary, Mitch, and me. Last one. Mike makes marvelous munchies for Mary, Mitch, and me. So yay, we got the tongue twisties done. Got the promo part done. So let's get into the main part of the show. So as some of you guys know, or you guys should know by now, it's been a couple weeks, but one of our beloved comedian brothers, man, has transitioned. You know, I got the news right when I touched down in Maryland for the holidays. I got in like on the 23rd of December, and our fellow brother comedian Boogie B was killed. I'm still processing this right now, because here's the thing, man. Like, I didn't have like his number on my phone. We weren't like he wasn't someone that I always like hit up or nothing like that. But I mean, every time I saw him, man, Boog showed me nothing but love, man. Boog showed me nothing but love, man. Real funny cat, man. So the way I found out was I had my flight. I had an overnight flight, and I got in on the 23rd. Flew into Maryland. I didn't have any boots, so I had to run to the store to Sam's to get some. Not Sam. I went to Walmart, and I got some winter. I got some rubber boots because I wasn't sure if it was going to snow like that. So I got a pair of cheap winter boots or whatever, and I came back home, ran a couple errands, then I took a nap, and then I woke up, checked my social media, and then I just started seeing like R.I.P. Boog, and I'm like, what? What the fuck you mean R.I.P.? Like I just saw this dude, man. I saw him like 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks before then, if not like sooner, you know. I started going down the post. I started to look up stuff, and he was home visiting family in New Orleans. You know, that's where he's from, and he was out shopping. From what I read, he was out shopping, getting groceries for his folks, and he was in the parking lot, and there was some kind of crossfire of 2 people shooting at each other, and he got hit, man, and he got killed, you know. So I'm still, like I said, I'm still processing this, man. It doesn't it's I don't even know what to even say right now, man. You know, I'm trying to just be as upbeat as possible, because I mean, Like I literally like see Boog or saw Boog like almost every week at Chocolate Sundays. It's a, if you don't know what that is, it's a premiere comedy show here in LA at the Laugh Factory. And that's where I remember last seeing him there, you know. And the reason why, like I said, the reason why I have my background as Outback Steakhouse is because one of my favorite Boogie B jokes has the word Outback in it, man. And it's the word is like, the joke is not about Outback Steakhouse, but it's like, it has the word Outback in it. And I don't want to ruin the joke for y'all, so I want to encourage you guys to go on YouTube and just Google, not Google. Why'd I say go to YouTube and Google? Go to YouTube and look up Boogie B Montreal stand up, and look at his performances at Chocolate Sundays, and yeah, you'll come across the joke where he brings up the word Outback, and man, that was one of my favorite Boogie B jokes, man. But I want to focus on the positives, man, of Boog, man. Like I remember, I think the first time I met Boog, it was weird, man. Like first time I met him, I remember it was at another comedian's birthday party at this venue in a parking lot, maybe like in 2016, I think it was. I probably met him before then, but I remember when I saw him in the parking lot and I saw him, I was like, "Hey, what up, Boog?" And he was like, "Hey, what's up, baby?" Like that's how he always greeted me, man, you know. And he even gave me a nickname that's part of this podcast intro, right? Like if you listen to the intro to this podcast, like one of the nicknames in there is a Driggity, right? And Boog gave me that name, Driggity, right? Like I remember one time I just saw him and he just started calling me that. He was like, "Hey, Driggity, what up, baby?" He dapped me up, man, and was always love, man, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna miss that, man. Just, you know, him just like spotting me out and being like, "Driggity, what up, baby?" Yeah, man. But yeah, I was so shout out to, first of all, let me say shout out to Chocolate Sundays, and shout out to Trey Elliott, and just shout out to all the people that did the tributes for Boogie B, man. That was dope, man. You know, they had a tribute show for him on the 9th, where they did a show at the Laugh Factory, but it was more of a tribute show for him at the Laugh Factory, and they streamed it live. That was dope, you know. And then they did another tribute show at the midnight Chocolate Sunday show on I believe it was on the New Year's show that Sunday night. So that was dope, man. So shout out to the Laugh Factory, shout out to, you know, Chocolate Sundays, and shout out to all the people that made that happen, man, because that was really special. And that's how he would have wanted it, you know. But now but I couldn't make any of those tributes because I was out of town, you know. I got back yesterday, and I'm still like dealing with the sleep issues. Like I said, I mean, I'm still on East Coast time, and I'm fighting sleep right now. And you know, right now I'm up, I'm good, but like last night I was up at 3:00 in the morning, and I almost did the podcast at 3 a.m. But you know, I was like, nah, it's kind of weird. I don't want to train myself to be up at 3:00 in the morning. So I'm trying to train myself to be back asleep at a normal time. But anyways, back to Boog, man. So as you guys see, I got on Boog's Let Me Stress You Out hoodie. I bought this back in 2021, I think it was. So I got this back in 2021. And I got this because on his Instagram page, he always had those Let Me Stress You Out videos, man. And those things were funny, man. You know, if you go to his Instagram, you see his Let Me Stress You Out joints, man. And he's like, it's like him and that finger. He's like, you come, like, I can't even do it. You guys gotta go watch it yourself. But he would basically like point out somebody in a video and do a side by side and just roast them. And he would man, he would just go on these long roasted rants and they would be funny. He'd be like, you old buttermilk biscuit ass so and so from The Simpsons looking to I can't even do it, man. But the way he would start it out is he would be like, oh, I got something for you. Let me stress you. That little finger. Oh man, that shit. Whenever he did this, man, that joint was hilarious, man. And then he'd be like, you old buttermilk biscuit. Oh, he would just be so specific with the references, and then he wouldn't blink. Like he'd be looking into the lens and da 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 and da 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 and da, and that shit was funny, man. So that was like, yo, this dude is funny. Let me go ahead and like me. I like to support other comedians, man. So I got this like back in 2021. And yeah, so I believe back in, and I didn't realize how long ago like I bought this, man, or got this hoodie, man. I remember I look back through my old videos, and I believe it was episode 14 is where like I plugged the hoodie. And I think because at that point I didn't even have you know what? Because first I didn't have a name for the show. Then I didn't have I didn't have an intro. But then I started to say, no, let me go ahead and just throw in my nicknames. And that's when, you know, I'm not sure if episode 14 is where I introduced the nickname Driggity or not that Boog gave me, but it's in there. But episode 14 is where like I remember plugging his hoodie. But yeah, but anyways, back to Boog. What else, man? So I never so here's the other thing about Boog that was like crazy to me, that was dope, man. I've never seen another stand-up comedian ever do a Zoom comedy show standing up and be successful. Boog was the only one that I know that I've seen do a Zoom comedy show standing up, like showing full torso and like being funny. Because a lot of people don't realize when you do Zoom comedy versus like stand-up comedy in person, it's totally different. It's a whole different beast, you know? Like if you do how should I put it? With Zoom comedy shows, like most success is where like people see you from like the neck up, you know, or from like the chest up. But Boog, I remember, man, he did that show, man, on Chocolate Sunday's virtual show, and he stood all the way back to his backdrop, and he had his microphone, and he ripped that thing, man. So Boog was special, man. You know, what else, man? What else, man? I didn't realize this, but I was talking to another comedian friend of mine, and I didn't realize that he listened to AMS. You know, you don't know what AMS is? That's Alpha Male Strategies. You know, like I personally, here's the thing, right? I don't agree with like everything AMS says, but I agree with his tone and I agree with like what he's about, you know? But I just found that very interesting that Boog was like a fan of AMS, you know, from what I gathered from another comedian. But what else, man? The one thing Boog also did, man, was he had he put me onto the Bedazzle hoodie string game. You know, like he would come in every couple Sundays or every other Sunday or so, and he would have a hoodie with the bedazzled hoodie string in it. And I was like, man, that's dope. Like I'm gonna try to do that too, you know. So like I started getting the little bedazzled hoodie strings or whatever, and I started putting them in my hoodies, you know. And I remember recently, this was probably like a few months ago, but I was at the Laugh Factory. And I was at the top of the stairs or whatever, and Boog saw me, and I had my Autobot hoodie on, and I had like my bedazzled strings in the hoodie, and then Boog saw me by the stairs, and Boog was like, he was like, Drigga D, what up, baby? And they looked at my hoodie string and my hoodie, I could tell something was wrong because he was trying to fight through that smile. He's like, hey, he's like, baby, he's like, hey, he's like, man, what you want to do? Because just imagine, like, I don't know, just like imagine a like a pop or someone's like father, like you know, trying to teach them on like how to tie a tie, and it was kind of like that, like visual. And Boog was like, he's like, Dre it D, come here, baby, hey. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, no, what you want to do with the hoodie string, man? Is what you want to do is you want to get you an all black hoodie and make sure it's black and make sure it's dark, because you know you want the bedazzled hoodie, you want the bedazzled string to pop on top of that dark hoodie. But right now, man, your hoodie ashy right now, and the string ain't popping. So when he coached me up, I was like, oh, I get it. So now, you know, I know how to coordinate, you know, the bedazzled hoodie string with the proper hoodie, you know. So man, we had some fun times at Chocolate Sundays, man. And what else? Oh man, let me put this picture of Boog up here. Man, I should have had this up here. Didn't have it up there. There's Boog. And what else, man? Then also with this hoodie, you know what's weird, man, is I remember when I wore this hoodie a few times out and about, you know what I'm saying? Cause I guess I have a lot of hoodies and I cycle through. Like I try not to wear one hoodie too much because I don't want it to get worn or whatever. But I remember I wore this hoodie one time on accident. Well, no accident. Like the one thing about being a comedian is you always have to be ready to go up. Like you don't know where you'll be at, you don't know what the situation is, but if someone's like, hey, you want to get up, you gotta be willing to get up and go perform. So I remember I threw the hoodie on and I went out one night and I did this midnight mic out in NoHo. NoHo is North Hollywood, for you guys that are not familiar with the lingo. Come on, Dre. They are not familiar with the lingo. So I wore it to this midnight mic, and it was a brutal mic, man. It was a brutal mic where comics didn't want to be there. It was very grim. So it was like you're going up there just to see how much you can take, you know? All comics in the room, and they're just sitting up there like watching. And it was a weird room because like people weren't really doing like civilian jokes. They were doing jokes to make other comics laugh, you know? So I was working on my set or whatever. And I was up there eating it, you know? And I remember like during the middle of my set, one comedian was like, dude, I don't know why you're on stage telling jokes and your name is AT and you're wearing a Boogie B hoodie. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize man, my bad. So now it's like, I have to like make sure that I have to be more conscious of what I wear when I'm on stage and make sure I'm prepared to talk about whatever it is I have to talk about, you know? So that was kind of a just a weird little story or whatever. But in honor of my fallen comedy bro, man, his birthday was October 14th. So every October 14th, I'm rocking this hoodie, no matter what, you know? And it's not the only time I'm going to wear it, but for sure on October 14th, I'm rocking this, man. Because like, you know, it's what I'm going to do, right? There's no rhyme or reason. It's just, this is what I'm going to do, you know? Excuse me. One other thing too, about Boog, man, was, like I said, I heard a few comics say it, and I don't want to like, you know, hack or whatever or bite, but anyways, what they say is true, man. Boog was a vibe, man. He was a vibe, you know, like, anytime you were around him, man, it was just nothing but positivity, nothing but just love and just having a good time, you know. Boog was special, man. And I remember one time, the one thing about Boog was he was always kind of like coaching me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like he would always coach, like for example with the hoodie string, he was coaching me up, you know what I'm saying? And he was always kind of like coaching me up on little things, or not just me personally, but he was kind of like a mentor to other comedians, you know. And I remember like at Chocolate Sundays one Sunday, a lot of times I'll hang out at the bottom, like right where the comics are, like in that hallway right before they go up, by the booth, by the infamous booth where the light is. I was down there hanging out, and in the comedy world, for comedy lingo, for those that don't know, you probably heard it, but basically, if you have to go first in the lineup, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, you gotta take the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is, right? So I remember when me and Boog were downstairs one time. He was hosting First Impressions, which is the first part of the Chocolate Sunday show, and he was praising one of the First Impression comedians, Jordan Conley. He was like, man, that Jordan Conley's a bad motherfucker, man. He's like, that Jordan Conley goes up there and he gets that crowd broken in, because a lot of people don't realize that crowd is tight. When you get up on First Impressions and host, nigga, that crowd is tight. You know, like they say taking a bullet, nigga, you up there taking a missile. So he had this thing wherever he went on stage, right before I saw him a few times, he would go up and be like, he's like, he'd be like, here we go. And he'd go on stage, and man, that crowd would be tight, but Boog would break that crowd in, man, and get them loose, yo. So a lot of people think that when they watch that show and you see comics in the middle getting laughs, a lot of them comics in the middle getting laughs don't realize that if they had to go first in First Impressions and be the host, like that shit, yeah, they would feel the difference. Because when you got to open up the show and do the cold open, like that's rough, man. So once again, man, RIP to my comedy bro Boog, Boogie B. Well, I call him Boog, but RIP to my comedy bro Boog. He's gonna be sadly, he's gonna be sorely missed, man. Like, it's like every time I go to Chocolate Sundays, it's just gonna be different, man. Not knowing that he gonna pop in there, you know, and be like, Driggity, what up, baby? Yeah, I'm gonna miss that dude, man. But the one thing, but I don't know why I say but one thing I'm gonna do is, as people transition, I think the way you can keep them alive is by taking a quality or a characteristic about that person, or an outlook, or taking something from that person's life and applying it to your own, so they always live on no matter what, man. So there's a lot of like things that Boog impacted me with, you know, like Boog, how should I put it, man? Boog was he was like positive. This is the one thing I didn't realize, yo. So I knew he's from New Orleans, but I never knew that he like lost everything in Katrina, you know. I learned that through the Chocolate Sundays podcast, and he said he lost everything, you know. And you know, you could tell that, you know, that made him like strong, yo, like even stronger than what he already was, you know. Because he found the positivity in everything, you know, like in every facet of the word. This dude was a comedian, man. Like he made everything funny, you know. But yeah, man, just, I mean, I'm like, there's a lot of things you can take from Boog, and apply to your life, or to my life, you know. It's just about just being positive, man. Just trying to make no matter how bad something is, no matter how negative something is, man, just trying to put a spin on it, man, and just personalizing it and making it funny, you know, personalizing it. And like I said, making it funny. That's what Boog was about, man. You know, so I'm going to take that spirit of Boog, and I'm going to apply that to my life, you know, so that way he lives on, you know. Like I said, there are way more people that knew Boog way more than me, and you know, but like I said, he the one thing about him was, it didn't matter if you knew him for one day or for 15, 20 years, you know what I'm saying? It was like he had a positive impact on people, you know what I'm saying? Like he uh he had he always had a positive impact on, like he would have a positive impact on you no matter what, you know? So that's something that I want to try to improve on in my life, is just being positive more, because like I have a tendency to be negative and get down on myself, or just to look at things from a negative light a lot of times. And a lot of times, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to duck away from the truth, but I got to find the positivity in the truth and make that shit funny and just focus on that, you know? So that's what I'm taking from Boog. And there's probably so much more that I can take as I reflect on his life. But like I said, man, he's going to be missed, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that like he's not forgotten, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, every October 14th, I'm rocking this hoodie. And I'm gonna be more positive. I'm gonna be positive no matter what, you know. Every situation, no matter how negative it gets, I'm gonna be positive, man. And that's how I'm gonna remember Boog. So once again, RIP Boog, man, you'll be missed. And yeah, I don't know how to end these things or how to end that, but I just wanted to make sure I started off with that, you know. So so now we're there. Okay, let me see what those comments. Sorry. Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the condolences, man. Appreciate you, Mark. Yeah, it was very tragic news, man. It was yeah, like it didn't even seem real, and I'm still like kind of processing it right now, you know. And I can't believe you came home and didn't message. Oh man, my bad, man. Yeah, I was shoot, yeah, I was helping my mom. Yeah, so I was helping moms out around the house, man. She had like a lot of stuff that had to get done, man. And no excuse, I should have hit you up. My bad. I'll be back in the summertime for sure. But I'll make sure that I hit you up next time I'm in town. But yeah, I had a lot of stuff to take care of in the house. My mom has a lot of stuff, man. We were just going through cleaning stuff, getting rid of stuff, fixing stuff. So I mean, I was put to work, you know. So, but yeah, next time I'll hit you up, man, when I'm home. Something else I want to talk about too, right quick. I want to talk about this. As you guys know, I'm a Bills fan, so I got to address this because I've been out of commission for the past couple weeks. Where's it at? Excuse me. So yeah, so Demar Hamlin. So we gotta talk about so we gotta talk about this, man. So first off, I'm grateful that, you know, I'm happy that, you know, this brother's alive. He has all of his memory. He's not like, I'm grateful that, you know, he's gonna be able to live somewhat of a normal life after what happened. So if you guys don't remember, last or 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football, it was the Bills and the Bengals Monday Night Football game. It was a real critical game. Almost like, I think like a little more than halfway. It wasn't even halfway, like almost at the halfway mark of the first quarter. Damar Hamlin made a tackle on T. Higgins. And he caught a helmet to the chest while making a tackle. He fell, he got up. I'm sorry, he made the tackle, got up, and then fell out. So basically, like when I first saw it, I thought he had a concussion. And I said, okay, he's probably done for the game. He's probably gonna, when they go to commercial break and he comes back, he's gonna go to the blue tent and they're gonna say he has a concussion, he's not coming back. That's what I thought was gonna happen. But then they came back, no blue tent, more people started gathering out. And then you know, they kept going to commercial break. And then when they came back from the commercial break, you saw the players crying, and the way they reacted, like I was like, oh shit. I looked at my mom and my mom was like, yo, he gone. And we were sitting there just digesting it, like, yo, he gone. You know what I'm saying? because they started talking about they were doing CPR like 9 times, or they tried doing CPR for 9 minutes and he ain't come back, or it was just all this news and it just didn't sound good. So first and foremost, I'm glad that, that the medical response team came together and did what they did, and I'm glad that they were able to revive him, and I'm glad to hear that he's looking like he's going to make a full recovery. But what I will say, and this is going to probably shock a lot of people, not shock people, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because it needs to be said. But we have to look at like what this coverage of Damar Hamlin was really about, like what was all the coverage really about? The coverage was about, it was about two things in my opinion. One, it was in a long time, like we haven't seen an athlete lose their life like in person on national TV on this magnitude, so that's what really was like the shocker, right? Like, I mean, you think about like you gotta think about like the Kennedy assassination, right? Like that's kind of like, everybody saw that in real time, and that's really like scary to see something on when the whole world is watching. That's something real scary to see, so to see life leave on the big scale on national TV, like that shit is very, 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 very scary, but in addition to that shock, a lot of this was about, a lot of this, in my opinion, was about the comfort that football brings, right? Like a lot of people didn't want to have football interrupted or changed with this memory in mind going forward, right? So if you think about it, right, like for example, we can go back to like Corey Stringer, the lineman for the Vikings. He died in practice, right? Dwayne Haskins died on the highway by I think he got hit by like a dump truck in Florida or something like that, right? And then even Sean Taylor, right? He got killed when some people broke in his house and shot him in his leg, So we didn't see those things like live in person. I mean, we heard about it and it was like, oh, this is a big deal. Oh man, this is sad. Like we were sad. But after like a couple hours or a couple days, well, with the exception of Sean Taylor, right? I mean, because that went on for weeks or whatever, or even now, it's still sensitive. But it's like the tone, the vibe, like when you see any like life leave in front of you, like whether you're present or whether you're watching it on TV, like that shit is eerie, right? It's like it's a brutal reminder that this can happen, and I think that in addition to people wanting the best health result for Damar Hamlin, I feel like a lot of it too was like the comfort that football brings us is not going to be there no more, like what's like people were like, the season, like that might have killed football, like I've never seen announcers, I've never seen media, I've never seen players react to it the way they did, you know what I'm saying? So so to me it was like it wasn't just about Damar Hamlin, it was about witnessing life being lost real time, and it was also about the safety and security that football, it was about the safety and security that NFL entertainment brings to the household, like now every time you watch a game, if you got to think about, man, is someone gonna die, you might not watch that shit no more. People not gonna watch that, but yeah, you said yeah, that shit was crazy. And then the Shannon, yeah, I'm gonna get on that in a second too, the Shannon and Skip argument, I'm gonna get on that. But here's like another thing too, man. This is also going to probably like rub people the wrong way, but I mean, I don't care. I'm just, like I said, I'm speaking, like, I'm not speaking for shock value. I'm speaking because this is how I really feel, But if I were God, I would be very disgusted, man. You know, because I ain't never seen so many people come together and pray, like, and acknowledge God. And then now we're back to football. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people treat God like he a genie in a lamp, you know, like, oh, I want $1 million. Please let me get, please, Lord, let me get this. Let me get this money. Please, please, please. Right. It's that prosperity outlook on God, man. That shit is like, imagine if someone only came to you when they wanted you to like imagine if someone only came to you when they were in like dire need and that was it. Right. So to me, it's like, you know, to see all these people pray and do all this stuff, it's nice. It's a good gesture. But it's just, we still don't get the lesson, yo. It's like the way people were talking and praying to God all week for Demar Hamlin's health is how people should be talking to God every day, you know? And you shouldn't just be like, in my opinion, you shouldn't just be praying to God for him to bring you shit, right? You should be praying for God, not even praying. You should be just walking with God and being thankful for the shit you have every day. Like the same way y'all, that's like the same way we were all praying for Demar Hamlin's health is the same way we should be thanking God every day for the breath that we have in our body and the things that we have, you know? But anyways, it is what it is, you know? Because I remember it was one chick I saw. She was an announcer. She was like a sportscaster or something, and she was covering the Demar Hamlin stuff. And she said right when things were getting better for Demar Hamlin, she says, what did she say? It was like she said, "Now that Demar is well, it's back to football." And I was like, "Oh God, are you serious?" Like, man, just like that. It's like why not take this opportunity to really dive in and, you know, examine, you know, our relationships with God, you know what I mean? So anyways, like I said, I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer in the room, but like whenever there's some constructive criticism that's need to be had, I'm going to speak up on it, you know? But yeah, like I said, man, I'm glad Demar Hamlin is well and has recovered, but there's a lot of things that need to be addressed and discussed that this goes on, you know? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, exactly. A lot of folks are not religious, you know? And that's, you know, exactly. A lot of people are not religious, you know, but it's like, you know, who is, I don't want to because I don't want this to turn into no like sermon or nothing like that. But it's like, you know, it's it isn't even about being religious, man. It's about just what God means to you, you know. And if people think that God is a genie in a lamp, then who am I to tell them, you know, that they can't do that or can't pray like that? But I'm just saying, if I were God and if that's how I were treated, I would be disgusted. That's just me. But yeah, you brought up the whole thing with the whole Shannon Sharp thing, and Skip argument. So here's my issue with. So I have big issue with Skip. You know, Skip Bayless. Like he's been out of pocket a lot of times. You know, but with the Demar Hamlin shit, I think he really stepped out of line. So I read his tweet when it happened, and to be honest, like the tweet wasn't what offended me, right? What offended me was his response to not taking the tweet down afterwards, right? Because when I first saw the injury the first time, I didn't think it was serious. I thought, well, the first time I saw the injury, I thought it was he had a concussion and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like a super hard hit. Like I've been hit harder than that in football. And I've hit people harder than that in football. I played football back in the day. But so from what I saw, I thought he just had a concussion. You know, I thought when he fell back and hit his head on the ground, or I thought just the way he reacted, I thought it was a concussion. So Skip's tweet when he read it or when he tweeted it, he wanted to be the first one on it so he could get his views, right? He's part of this little young culture where you want to be the first one at it, right? Like you got to be the first one to go talk about it. And if you're the first one on it, you got to be able to take the good and the bad, you know? So a lot of times when you tweet something too soon, you got to be able to take that heat, right? So his comment that he tweeted, in my opinion, I think he tweeted too soon because he didn't get all the details, but he wanted to, exactly. He wanted to be a clout chaser, you know? So when you chase clout, you got to be able to take the shit that comes with it, you know? So when he tweeted it and when he saw what was going on, he should have went back and said something about his other tweet. And then when it got brought up on the Skip and Shannon show, or on Undisputed, he should have been like, you know what? I was totally wrong. I shouldn't have tweeted that. I jumped on it too soon. I was in my writer mind phase. You know, when you're in this business of being a beat writer, you have to jump on shit right away. I didn't read the situation. My bad, right? But when he said, I'm not taking the tweet down and I'm not going to apologize for that, I was like, dude, man, I'm like, you don't get it. So he's not a humble person. He's very arrogant, you know, but people still gonna watch his show. You know, people are still gonna keep watching to see what he's gonna say. It is what it is. I don't hate the man, but I just think that he's very childish, and he has a lot of growing up to do. You know, he has a lot of growing up to do, and I don't foresee him getting his job snatched or whatever. And it is what it is. If people want to be fucked up, they're gonna be fucked up. That's a part of life. You know, you got to deal with like fucked up people, you know? But like I said, I mean, his response to the tweet after all this happened, and for him, like, being so arrogant and being too full of pride to admit that he made a mistake. I ain't got no respect for that. So what else we got? What else we got going on here now? So yeah, what else we got going on, man? Yeah, I've been talking for a minute. What am I gonna talk about now? So what else? See some of these comments. And before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. Yeah, clout chaser. Yeah, he was a chef turned sports reporter. Oh, I didn't know he was a chef, man. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, I gotta do some more research. He's very insensitive now. That was his son. Yeah, exactly. If he had his own family member out there, he would have been totally different. So, right, exactly. Totally agree. Lisa Marie Presley. Yeah, man. I just heard that Lisa Marie Presley died. That's Elvis's daughter. She had I think she died of a heart attack. I think mid-50s. So I'm still, like I said, yeah, man, that's sad, man. You know, crazy. I didn't really know too much about, 54. Yeah, but I didn't know too much about her other than that was Elvis's daughter, and Michael, I believe, was married to her, I think. Pardon my facts on that. I don't know. I'm not really that well versed in all that. So I'm gonna stick to what I know. But yeah, that's crazy, man. What else we got going on here? So let me go ahead and be more upbeat and get some more positive stuff going right quick, because I got some more positive. I got some more things I want to cover. So yeah, so as you guys know, my last episode 66, was my values goals. It was my values episode where I talked about what I was trying to do for 2020, or what I'm going to do for 2023. And I took one little step. I took one little step further to my goals, man. So so one of my goals for like the year is to at least or I would say one of my long-term goals is I want to be able to work the cruise lines, doing comedy, because that's how, I can get more reps in, do more material. And that's like, it's like that makes you like show ready, right? When you can do like cruise lines, because you got to do like 3 shows, all different sets, clean and dirty, right? So I reached out to a comedian friend of mine and who does cruises. I got a list of agencies and he gave me a list of agencies. So that's the first step. I reached out, did that. Now I got to follow up with these agencies to see what the process is, or, shoot them my videos and see if they think, hey, we can plug this dude to see what he has, and we gonna go with it. So, I got, like I said, I have a lot of goals this year that are aligned with my values, but I took one little step closer, right? Because everything's already all mapped out. I just got to take the steps. So that's a positive goal update. You know what I might do? Every episode, I'm going to try to have a goal update, whether it's a small goal or if it's a short-term goal, or if it's a I think anytime I accomplish a short-term goal or a medium-term goal, I'm gonna let y'all know on here. Yeah. He said, yeah, Mark, you better be going on that cruise. He said, I'm going on that cruise. LOL. Yeah, man. I got to do 90 minutes, right? Like 30 minutes different each set. But, the way they say, yep. If they say 2023 is the year of you, 2023 is the year of me. Exactly. For those that don't know, my birthday is January 23rd. So next week I'll probably do my birthday episode next week. But movie theater skit, got you. But January 23rd is my birthday. So January 23rd, 2023. 2023 is me. You will call. Go ahead, Mark. Funny. Let me go ahead and get into the DFS portion of the show. Right quick, where I talk about some DFS sports shit. I'm gonna kind of breeze over this right quick. So Luka. Like I said, last night I did my fantasy tiers. Last night, Luka came through for me as always. But the one player that's really pissing me off this year, man, that has been messing me up in fantasy and DraftKings, period, just in daily fantasy sports, has been Van Vliet, man. Van Vliet has been messing me up, man. Dude. Yo, Van Vliet is like, I can't even explain my frustration with Van Vliet right now, man. Like, I look at the data, I study the data, and he just is like one of the most random. I wouldn't say random. Well, yeah, he's either up or down. He's a hot, cold player. Like, he's either gonna be really hot or he's gonna be lukewarm, man. And you can't win. Like, it's hard to win like that. So really, everything kind of revolves around him. You got to determine when he's gonna go off, and then pick everyone else accordingly. But in what else? But this weekend coming up, it's a wild card weekend. Got lots of games. We got 5 games this weekend, right? It's 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, 1 Monday night, 1 game on Monday night. Monday night game is the Cowboys and Bucks. That's gonna be interesting because both teams are looking kind of bummy right now, so they got to get their shit together to figure out what they're gonna do. Bills, I think, play Sunday against the Dolphins. But the game I'm interested in the most, man, the game that has me the most intrigued is the Jaguars Chargers game, man. That's gonna be an interesting game, man, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had it my way, man, I do not want to see the Jaguars right now, man. I do not want to see the Jaguars right now. Ooh, I just thought of something too. So as you guys know, I'm a fan of like narratives, right? I do this whole narrative shit, because the NFL, in my opinion, is fixed and they want to see storylines, right? So my original storyline was going to be, I thought it was going to be the Dolphins and Eagles in the Super Bowl because everybody wants to see, you know, Tua versus Jalen Hurts, right? Because they both play quarterback at Alabama. We know the story there. Jalen Hurts was like, I think he won the national championship with them, then wasn't playing like the best. And then they went to Tua, and then Tua took over and then won the championship. And then he had to support Tua while he was doing all that. So people want to see that Super Bowl eventually where it's Tua versus Hurts. But that's probably not going to happen because Tua's not playing this weekend against the Bills. And I don't see the Bills losing in Buffalo without Tua playing. Let's get some water real quick. Put this right here. Who else? But yeah, but another storyline could be, you know, like another storyline could be Jaguars versus the Eagles, right? Because the old Eagles coach that won the Super Bowl with the Eagles is now the coach of the Jaguars, right? And it could be a Jacksonville Philly Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I do not, as a Bills fan, I do not want to see the Jags, man, because they got a running game, and they got a defense that can they can run the ball, and they got a lot of receivers, and they got a great quarterback, but their secondary is weak. But the Jaguars always give me the willies, man. I remember they were the last team to knock us out of the playoffs before we went in our drought for that long ass time. I remember when we had who was it? I think Van Pelt. Well, no, he knocked us out twice with the Jags. Because I remember when Van Pelt was starting at quarterback, the Jags came to town and knocked us out. But before then, when we had the last of the Kelly era, right? It was I remember Natron Means was on the Jaguars, and Natron Means ran all through the Bills in Buffalo in the cold. So I do not want to see no remnants or no. I don't want to see anything. I want to see Jaguars get knocked out, but that's the team I think to watch in these playoffs. But anyways, my golden bum for this weekend is going to come from that game. It's going to come from that Chargers Jaguars game, and my golden bum is going to be DeAndre Carter, wide receiver for the Chargers. Right? I just looked at the data, I looked at the numbers, and all the data is telling me that DeAndre Jordan he's not going to go off, but he's going to have a solid game. And for $3,000, for $3,500 DraftKings dollars, I think that's going to be probably the golden bum of the weekend. So he said, give me Von Miller back. Nah, well, if you want him back now, you can have him because he's not even playing. He hurt. You know, he has to get his knee operated on. But if we had Von Miller right now, I'd be like lights out. Ain't nobody gonna beat us. But yeah, the Broncos. That's right. Ooh, so Mark, a question for you, man. Is it Broncos or Ravens, man? Which is it? Broncos or Ravens, man? because you said give me Von Miller back. So I'm assuming you want him back on the Broncos. I know you also a Ravens fan too. Anyways, let me go ahead and keep moving down this line. Let me see what else we got, man. Yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap up in a second. Okay, I'll give you that. Always Broncos, because you claiming them when they bums now. Okay, so because the Broncos right now are real shitty, so I'll give you that. But if they were in the playoffs, man, I'd be like, man, what's up with them Ravens though? Let me see what else, man. I'm probably gonna save this part for next week's show because I'm running a little over. But real quick, I'm gonna put this out there. I thought about it. I've pined about it. I went back and forth on it, and I've come to the conclusion that if the Bills go to the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to the Super Bowl. All right. Like right now, I'm in the process of making that happen. I'm making a few financial transactions, a few very painful financial transactions. But I'm doing it. And here's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because as you guys know, I'm a Bills fan, but not just any Bills fan. I cried through all 4 Super Bowl losses, right? And I used to have to put up with so much shit, and I would take the brunt of so many people making fun of me for being a Bills fan, you know? So I'm going. If the Bills go, I go. And right now I'm working on my nosebleed ticket. Because that's all I can afford, barely. But you know, if the Bills go, I go, you know, because I thought about it and I said to myself, you know what? It's gonna hurt to pay the price to go to the Super Bowl, but the Bills never won a Super Bowl. I've seen all the Super Bowls they played in. I watched them lose 4 straight. I stuck with my team through thick and thin. I would feel disgusted if I would feel disgusted if I went to. I would feel disgusted if the Bills went to the Super Bowl and they won on TV and I had to watch them on TV win that shit. Like, I'm like, nah, I got to be there to see that shit with my own 2 eyes. I got to see that with my own 2 eyes. He said, Bills, man, shut your ass up, Mark, talking about looking for a 5th Super Bowl loss. Nah, bro. Hey, I don't know. They may or may not show up, but I got to take that chance. Like, I rather have the pain of seeing them lose in person than to experience the pain of watching them win on TV after I didn't watch them lose on TV for so many years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm working on that right now. I'm working on this one transaction. Matter of fact, I gotta go to the bank in a little bit to go look at this shit. But that's one thing I wanted to kind of put out the bag is the Bills go, I go. The Bills go, I go. So anywho, next week I'm gonna do my comedy bump next week because I had a very interesting show the last week in December where I got heckled by an audience member. And it got ugly. It could have went way worse than what it did, but I feel like I weathered the storm. But I've already analyzed why things happened the way they did. But I'm going to talk about that next episode. But before I go any further, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff. Once again, R.I.P. Boog. You will not be forgotten. You will be sorely missed. Let me go ahead and flex out the hoodie again for you right quick. October 14th. I'm gonna make sure I always wear this on October 14th, man. I'm gonna make sure I always rock this hoodie, no matter what. I mean, on October 14th, no matter what. If you guys have never heard of Boogie B Montreal, I suggest you go to YouTube and to just go and watch his work, man, on YouTube, man. He was a great comedian, man. Always just brilliant, man. Fun to watch. Go watch his videos. And with that being said, man, R.I.P. Boog. And with that being said, Badeep. I'm out of here, folks. Peace. That's it. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.